Library of Congress Subject Headings, A Study, by Christina Ranzelin. The library's mission is to support the Congress in fulfilling its constitutional duties and to further the progress of knowledge and creativity for the benefit of the American people. The purpose of this study is to learn more about Library of Congress Subject Headings, or LCSH, within the greater context of library science. I was inspired to research this topic because I found myself asking the following questions when the topic of subject headings arose in various coursework or at my new job as a copy cataloger. The questions are, how do Library of Congress subject headings work? Why do other non-Library of Congress libraries use LCSH? And how are new headings added and existing headings changed? Researching these questions inspired a deeper conversation about the significance and role of LCSH in regards to culture and individual user. Library of Congress subject headings are an important part of information retrieval. They are a way for users to search for all documents within a library's catalog pertaining to a certain subject. Subject headings are a controlled vocabulary. Each document is assigned at least one subject heading, which enables it to be retrieved. If the proper headings are not assigned, it will be discriminated against during the retrieval process. LCSH are composed and applied based on user warrant, or user terms, literary warrant, or those terms appearing in other documents, and structural warrant, or vocabulary structure terms. Assigning LCSH can be difficult and is described by many as an art. Searching can also be difficult for the user, who is most likely unfamiliar with the controlled vocabulary list. It might be most effective to use a keyword search. Find a document you like, and then use the headings assigned to that document to find others. According to Alva Stone in her preface to the book, The LCSH Century, by the time the 1930s came around, more and more libraries adapted Library of Congress subject headings to their increasing collections because it was the only list that was kept up to date by regularly adding new headings when new topics arose. Having a standard for subject headings throughout all libraries facilitates cooperative cataloging and makes it easier for the user to go from searching one catalog to the next. It is interesting to note that the LC was essentially nominated and elected to be the standard and example that other libraries followed. The LCSH are now used worldwide, which perhaps makes less sense because the headings, despite the adjustments to eradicate bias, are still essentially American. According to the Library of Congress's Subject Cataloging Manual, you should establish a subject heading for a topic that represents a discrete, identifiable concept when it is first encountered in a work being cataloged. Thus, new headings should be created when a new-to-the-catalog document does not fit with any existing subject headings, because if it was assigned an existing heading that does not adequately describe it, a user might use other search terms and fail to retrieve the document. If you are a SACO member and wish to suggest a new subject heading to the LCSH, you would fill out this form seen in the picture and submit it to the Policy and Standards Division of the Cataloging and Acquisitions Department of the Library of Congress. They then post a monthly list of accepted and approved new headings, as well as changes made to existing headings. Here is a portion of the most recent list, posted on the Cataloging and Acquisitions Department website on September 24, 2011. It is perhaps more difficult to change an existing heading than to add a new heading. Headings are changed as usage and meaning or connotation of words change. It is most important to change those subject headings that express some sort of bias or might be hurtful to a user. The picture shows the summary of an editorial meeting of the Policy and Standards Division, who decided to change the headings using the term cookery to ones using cooking instead when assigned to cookbooks. The term cookery is not as common these days. The process of changing Library of Congress subject headings is almost identical to that of creating new headings. You fill out a form, it is brought before a committee, and the committee votes on it. A close study of the Library of Congress subject headings reveal the power of words. There are many librarians, such as well-known social librarian Sanford Berman, who see the Library of Congress as a sort of cultural authority. They recognize the difficulty in assigning subject headings and see their potential in enacting social and cultural change. They seek to hold the LC accountable for the subject headings they devise and to keep the power to marginalize and, in a way, censor limited. Somehow it makes sense that the public is actively checking the so-called governing library agent, that is, the Library of Congress. It is so American. Of course, in the bigger picture, the average user would not think twice about the subject headings assigned to items he is searching for or the meaning and influence of these words. He is simply searching for information to meet his needs. However, his information needs and the way he searches are undoubtedly different from the person at the computer next to him. He enacts a search from his own perspective, which is influenced by his personal, cultural, and social experiences. Thus, the terms he uses might be different than another individual searching for the same topic. It is then the role of the Library of Congress subject headings and those assigning them to accommodate, to the best of their ability, each individual user despite their perspective. The Library of Congress is, after all, here for the people.